I started paying attention in different conversations that I've been having with different people, more successful people than I am, people that have more life experience, people that have more knowledge, that have more wisdom, that have more understanding of how the world works than I do. Ever since I started paying attention whenever I talk to those people, my life has completely switched around. Like, for instance, I had a conversation with this guy at the gym, completely harmless. Introduced myself to him, and he introduced himself back to me. And since then, I've met like a dozen people through this guy. And one of these guys has become one of my new business partners. As a way, like we're actually looking into starting a project together. And this is funny because if I'd never talked to that first guy, I would have never met this guy either. And it's been so interesting just to see the types of people that I can meet through other people just by just being around them, just like giving my opinion, giving some thoughts on different things, and then they give me recommendations. And thanks to those recommendations or information or any of the sorts of things that you can get through a conversation, I get to either improve my life or change it completely. And I've noticed that actually, when I actually think about it, the number one key differentiator that has improved my life over the past couple of months has been the conversations I've been having with other people. And I think this is a very underutilized thing in today's society. Like, I've got a lot of people that I know that aren't very social, and if they were a little bit more social, their job or their work or their life would be so much better. Socializing with people, having this social skill where you can actually just walk up and talk to literally anybody without a care in the world about where the conversation goes, but still having the end in mind, is one of the most, if not the most, valuable skill you can have on this planet. Now, there's a few examples that I can give. For example, my business that I run, I've worked with maybe like a little over a dozen people, dozen different businesses, and every single one of them, I managed to work with them by having a conversation with them. If I never had a conversation with the business owner, then in that case, they would have never become one of my clients. If I never decided to have a chat with my family, I would have never been able to fly to New Zealand from France, switch my life around, shake up the box and figure something out. I would have really, really struggled. And I would have had to have had way, way more preparation in order to do this. So, at the end of the day, you are the sum of all the people you had a conversation with in the past or that you're currently having conversations with, right? And if this is true, then that means that the more conversations you have with people that are more successful than you are or that have more experience than you have, then the more value you bring to yourself. I had a conversation with this guy. He's a pretty good dude, actually. I won't say his name for privacy, but he's an event planner, like a very high top executive type guy. I don't remember if he's a director or if he is like a high manager or something like that. But he said to me like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking to potentially own my own business because I'm kind of sick and tired of working with for somebody else. You know, like I want something that that belongs to me, and I respect it. And if I'd never had that conversation with him, like, he told me a bunch of stuff, like, every single time, like, I see him around the coffee shop that I go to on a regular basis. He always just is there. He's always a pretty good dude. Like, he's good energy, good vibes. And honestly, I'd rather have conversation with those types of people that have more experience. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like 52 or something like that. And me being 23, going on 24, it just means that I get all of that experience from those types of people, right? Like, personally, I think you shouldn't just be friends with anybody just for the sake of being friends. I think you should surround yourself with people that inherently provide more value to you as an individual. May it be somebody much, much older than you are, or somebody that has much better skills than you have at the same age. It doesn't really matter. The point is, I'd say the average age of my friends is probably close to 30 or 40. I don't really give a fuck. So I just find way more value and way more, I guess you could say, value out of these relationships that I have with these people. And because they have more lived experience, they know more things, they understand how the world works, they have more ideas, maybe they own a business, maybe all of these things that can benefit not only themselves and their family and their loved ones, but also my life and the lives of the people I care about as well. Because, like, the skills that I have benefit business owners. In that case, why wouldn't I attach myself to people who are older, who know more people, who have more experience? That's super easy. If I know a bunch of people that are older, I go to business functions, business events, business meetings, seminars, whatever, and I just introduce myself to people. They're gonna be like, oh, this guy's interesting. He's young, he's ambitious, he's driven, he's a rising star. I kind of understand, like, where he's come from, like, and I kind of want to be around him more because he looks like he's got potential. He's got value to bring to the table, right? And by being that kind of person, it has completely changed my way of seeing things. Whenever I'm going to a business meeting, I'm like super calm, super confident, understanding like what I'm going on, what I'm going to be doing, all this sorts of stuff. And it makes it much easier for me to just sit down and be like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this, 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 and this. And I've got a couple options. And if you want, we can do this option, or, I mean, I don't really recommend it, but what the option I really recommend is this one. This is one of like the best option that would be for you right now, that I would recommend, that I would suggest. And then we've got another option, but that's really if you're like only like super into it. Like, it only depends on like if the timing is right for you, if the budget's right for you, and so forth. And by becoming more confident and working with more people and talking with more people and developing my network and just talking to literally random people, not only if you only like spread positivity, you listen to people, listening to people is actually a massively underrated thing. Nobody gives a shit about anybody else. So if you just give a shit about somebody else's life for like 5-10 minutes a day, they would be like, oh, I want to talk to him because he cares, he listens to me, he understands. And so you become the kind of guy that is magnetic to be around because everybody wants to talk to you. Like over the past few months, maybe like a year ago, I didn't really used to talk to anybody that much. And the simple fact of, let's just say, talking to more people and like getting better at socializing, listening to people, understanding what they're talking about, actively listening to what they're saying and so on, and remembering next time I see them. They're like, oh, this guy remembers, this guy pays attention, this guy listens to me. And they want to spend more time with you. And now I find myself speaking to so many fucking people every day that I used to. I've probably spoken to thousands of people over the past few months. It's actually insane compared to before, where I used to speak to maybe 5 people a week. That's it. And now I'm speaking to thousands of people in the last couple months, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even remember all the names, It's quite interesting. And it really not only boosts your energy, because it makes you feel like you're connected with other people, but it also gets you more opportunities. You get more ideas, more things that come your way. You get to talk with other people. You get to develop things. And it's quite interesting. It's quite fascinating, I find, that you can just sit down with another person for 5-10 minutes every couple of days or so and develop a relationship that is totally based on just sharing a couple of things here and there, and then one day they're like, oh, actually, I would like your opinion on this. And then you start a business conversation. Say, boom. There you go. Money. Talking about money. I like talking about money because everybody needs money in today's world. So why wouldn't I want to talk about money? If I want to make more money, people who want to make more money will be attracted to me, and so forth and so on. So in that case, you need to be the kind of person not only who is actively listening, but who is also paying attention to these other people's lives, so that way they feel like they want to talk to you more, they want to open up to you more, they want to get to know you, they want to invest more. It's the rule of reciprocation. Reciprocation is basically, if somebody invests energy into something, the other person's going to invest in the same amount of energy roughly as they invested in the first place. It's the same thing for all relationships. Let's say if I give you $10, you're going to give me $10 back in value. Well, in that case, if you give me 2 hours of energy, I'm going to give you 2 hours of energy back in return. That's reciprocation. Or something in the equal amounts of value. Like, for instance, in terms of knowledge or in terms of information, experience, whatever. The point being, if you become the kind of guy who not only actively listens to conversations, also remembers what other people actually are saying, pay attention, and actually care about what you're listening to and who you're speaking to. By just doing that, you'll notice that people actually start to open up to you more. They start trusting you more. Like it's super weird. Like, I've got a couple baristas at the coffee shop that I go to. One of them in particular is she loves talking to me. Like, she's super safe, super trusting in me, because I keep listening to her and I keep being honest and truthful and respectful with her. And by the simple fact of having done that, she trusts me so much. She's opened up about her insecurities and everything, about her, she's got acne on her face or whatever. She's opened up about that. She's opened up about her relationship status. She's opened up about a lot of things that usually you don't talk about with somebody that isn't very, very, very friendly. And so it has kind of opened my eyes as to what is possible to do with people. Now, you can't do this with everybody. There's always going to be some fucking idiot that is not going to reciprocate. But who cares? You can't be friends with everybody. Personally, my own philosophy is you can be friends with people, but if they don't want to be friends with you, then who gives a shit? The people that are friends with me benefit from my friendship, not only in terms of value, in terms of energy, in terms of having a good friend that stands beside them, that respects them, and that gives them value. And that is a beacon of light in their light, a shining example of what can be, right? That's what I want to be, and that's what I strive to be on a day-to-day basis, becoming a man that is worth respecting. And so by simply listening to people actively listening, understanding what the fuck they're talking about, what their lives look like, and and so on and so forth, then you become the kind of guy everybody wants to talk about. And so when you get into a room where there's a bunch of successful people and you do the same, then they're going to want to spend time with you because you have something to offer. But if they are selfish, if they don't have anything to provide in terms of value, if they want to cheat the system, if they don't really want to offer up anything, then why the fuck are you spending time with them? It's very simple. If these people care only about themselves and not about you, then why the fuck are you friends with them? Like, I provide value in a lot of different ways. One of those ways is through my business understanding of human psychology and different marketing aspects of it. And so this skill that I'm developing and that I've developed over the past couple of years, basically, if I put myself in a room, I can help literally anybody that owns a business do better. And so this is a very important, valuable skill. But if nobody really opens up about that and only keeps prying into what I do, then in that case, I can't really help them. They keep helping me and they position themselves as, oh yeah, this guy needs my help more than I need his. And instead of listening to me, they try and teach me something. And it's like, I don't care about that. What I care about is what is being heard. And that means that's what other people care about. So if I care about being heard and being understood and being respected, then in that case, that is what other men are going to think about as well. So if you give them exactly that, they will reciprocate. But if you try and teach them everything about how to be good, how to be better, how to do this, how to do that, and force feed them down the lessons in their mouth, then they're going to be like, this guy's annoying. Like every time I talk to him, he feels like he's teaching me something. But if you just live the way you do and you don't really force the lessons down their mouth and instead you focus on leading by example, they'll be like, can you teach me this? And you'll be like, yeah, sure. But never force teach anybody. You need to listen to them, you need to understand them, and you need to, the two most important things in conversation are make sure they feel understood and make sure they feel like you listen to them, you actively listen to them. Like whenever you're talking to them, you're like, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, okay, okay. And you're actively listening to them. You understand what they're going through. Understanding people is something a lot of people don't really have anymore. They don't really have anybody that truly understands them, that relates to them. Every single time you go on the woman's Instagram, there's always one video that she posts. It's like, hey, can anybody relate to this? They want to feel understood. They want to feel related to, right? Nobody wants to feel alone. That's the thing. Everybody wants to feel understood. Everybody wants to feel believed or loved or respected or all these things, right? So if you become the kind of guy that offers that to people, completely just give it up to them, you just give it to them every day, all the time, every single time you see them, that's what you give to them, then in that case you'll see that they will want to give you more. I've got this guy in my DMs now. He's a bit weird, but I am grateful for his help, I guess. I've never had it before, so it feels a bit weird talking about it. He gives me money because I'm so nice to him. I guess he doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have any friends that truly respect him and understand him and listen to him and joke around with him. And so I'm the only person in his life that does that for him. And so he feels like he needs to give back because it's such an immense amount of value that I'm providing to him that he feels like he needs to pay me money for it. Like recently he's sent over a couple $100 and I'm like, thank you. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'll gladly be your friend. You don't need to pay me. Like, but if you want to, like, that's entirely up to you. Like, I'm not gonna force you, right? Okay. If you want to send me some money, I'm not gonna say no. Like, I need the money as much as anybody else needs the money, right? Unless, like, I'm not some rich billionaire yet. The money is going to help me, no matter what. So, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, people feel like they're indebted to you whenever you provide them so much value, and they haven't done the same. They'll feel the sense of reciprocation if they're a good person, and they will want to give you back that energy, that value, that emotional value as well. So if you just do that and you focus on that, you will see your life change so drastically. Like, that's personally what happened to me in my life. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been posting videos for the past couple months or so, every single day, and I'm gonna probably start posting different types of things very shortly, and we'll see, because like, I've been testing a lot of different things. I've been coming to a lot of different conclusions, and it might be time to post some more lighthearted stuff on the channel, but I'll see what I can come up with. So if you want to check that out, just stick around, make sure you subscribe. I post daily videos on this channel, and yeah, it's a beautiful day, so it's gonna be time to get back to work, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow. See ya.